by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of James who well, Shalom, Talok, elect. Um, I saw this and I wanted to just expound on this quickly and just go into what's really going on. Not really going on, but what's going on in the world right now with the Ukraine stuff and whatever.
Example that particularly resonates with me was when I was out in court, in a Crown Court in one of our home counties, and there was a white gentleman who had been caught with a significant amount of Class A drugs, and not only that, he'd then tried to evade capture by the police. He had his young child who was weeks old at the time, and also his partner in the car, and he drove off from the police. He crashed the car. He then got out of the car and absconded. He didn't hand himself into the station until 2 days later. And we were sat in court, so it was like a sentencing morning where different sentences are happening. And the judge found a way. They said, he came up with a story about the fact that he had all this amount. He had like 5 ounces, close to 5 ounces of cocaine on him. His story was that he had to hold the drugs for his drug dealer because he'd run into some debt with them. Now, anyone from our background, just some knowledge of how things work, know that a drug dealer does not give a drug addict their drugs, especially cocaine, and it's not like crack or whatever.
He's in debt with them as well.
Yeah, he's in debt with them. They don't give them 5 ounces of cocaine to hold. It's only going to end one way. But anyway, the judge seemed to buy this, and he found a way to give him a suspended sentence. So he sentenced him to 2 years, which is a maximum he can give and suspend. And then immediately after, there was a young black lad who came into the court, and again, me and the other barristers are milling around waiting for our cases to come on. And he, essentially been done what they call, we used to call it country back in the day, but they call it county lines now. And he got caught with just a few grams, so not ounces, just a few grams of Class A drugs, heroin, and it was crack. And his barrister really fought for him. A white middle class barrister really fought for him. And he was putting forward his mitigation. His life had been really, really difficult from the start. He grew up in care. His mum was a crackhead, ironically, and his father wasn't around. He had fallen into gangs and into trouble. He tried to go to college, but then had to leave college because rival gang members attended that college. And he was from a South London borough, which isn't too far from where I grew up. And the judge gave him 4 years. And I remember sitting there thinking, hold on. And I remember feeling my blood boil. I was the only black barrister in the room. There was like 5 or 6 other barristers waiting around for their case. And everyone, we're not stupid, like people are people. We all just look and we heard the previous case. And we thought, hold on, 5 ounces, absconded, crashed the car, a whole range of other offences that come out of, this.
Was it the same judge?
And same judge. Judge.
Right next after one after the other.
One after the other. And he gave this young lad 4 years. And this lad didn't have anyone with him. He was in some court miles away from his home. Didn't have anyone with him. He had a baby on the way, part of his mitigation. No previous convictions. Or just one previous conviction for an unrelated, nothing to do with drugs. And he gave him 4 years and talked about how county lines wouldn't be tolerated in that place or that area, which is fine. I get it. I completely agree. It's exploits young people, vulnerable young people, etc. Policy decisions behind it. But how can you find a way, to give someone just moments before?
Because he empathises with the previous guy.
That's the reason why he came up with a story. He was depressed apparently. Okay, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know him, but minutes later, you give double the sentence to a person who was 15 years younger than this guy, by the way. The black lad was only 19. The other guy was 34, 35.
Not double, because suspended, you don't go to jail.
No, you don't go to jail. But double the sentence as well, the actual custodial term. If he breached it, he would be...
Well, yeah.
And it was... I remember just at that point, the judge then rose and he had a break before, maybe reading the next case or whatever, and he went... And I just felt myself getting a little bit angry, and I felt my blood boiling, like my temperature literally rising. And I remember just sort of saying, and I say that as loud so everybody could hear, the court clerk could hear, I said, how is that fair? And everyone just looked at me, and you could see everyone was looking at me in some sort of sheepish way. And lovely people, I'm not saying it's their fault, other barristers who were there fighting for justice or whatever. And I said, how is that fair? And people looked, and his barrister was kind of shocked, I think, taken aback. He was going to go and see him in the class. He just said, I don't know, I tried it. I said, no, I don't question that, but how? I said, we've all just seen what's happened. And the court clerk looked at me and said, and everyone sort of shrugged their shoulders. And everyone looked like, wow. I remember one.
Well, we all understand this through the scriptures because Esau's the wicked, and he might say, because like I'm gonna assume he's a Jake from the fact that he feels some level of empathy towards the fact that injustice was done. But them little Edomites who look like they knew it was wrong, they ain't gonna say nothing. Edomites don't care. He can say, oh, they're good, hard-working people, but they're not, man. These people are wicked and filthy. They're the wicked of the earth. I'm gonna get that. Everybody looks at Esau and says, "Oh, I'm gonna get this." This is Malachi 1:3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, that they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and a people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So, you know, the reason why the Lord hates Esau is because he's wicked. And even it talks about... Let me get that. I can't find that verse, but you know, there's a couple verses here that, you know, I can use to illustrate my point in the scriptures. This is Proverbs 6:16. These things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are abomination unto him, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. So if you're going to send a man to jail for 4 years and give somebody a suspended sentence is, if you ain't done nothing wrong in 2 years, you basically you get off the charge. It's as if nothing even happened. I got a suspended sentence like 2 years ago, and I ain't done nothing, and I just did a basic criminal record check, and there's nothing on my record, so it doesn't even show up. So all we have to do is keep his head down for whatever how many years, and he would have been cool. It wouldn't even show up on his record. And heart that divisive wicked imaginations, then that's a wicked imagination for you to give a man 4 years in jail and then give another man who's done way worse, 2 years suspended sentence. Feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. So, yeah, I'm not gonna read the rest of that, but yeah, let's get Proverbs 6:16. I'm gonna get a King James version. There are 6 things. There's the same thing there. Yeah, but basically, you can see Esau's a damn hypocrite, man, and Esau is the wicked. And I can't find the scripture, but even, you know, King David said you're supposed to hate what the Lord hates, and the Lord hates Esau because he does things like that. He's a heathen, man. And I was looking into the conflicts, what's going on in the world, and there's 10 conflicts to watch in 2021. Obviously, Ukraine is at the head of the news. You've got Ethiopia. I'm gonna just read little excerpts of it. Is that 2 years ago Ethiopia was a good news story, blah blah blah. Let's see. I'm not even gonna get into all of that. I won't be able to. They're still fighting in Afghanistan. If 2021 brought one chapter of Afghanistan's decade-long tragedy to a close, another starting. These are all places that Esau's been, or he's had his influence in. The United States and China, you got things brewing up between them. That's kind of like a cold war between them. And let's look into the definition of a cold war. A state of political hostility between countries characterized by threats, propaganda, and other measures short of open warfare. So Esau is having a cold war with damn near everybody on the earth. Look, I freaking hate these people, man. Yemen, there's still a war in Yemen. Look, I might just put this in the description so people can read it themselves. There's Israel, Palestine, still something going on there. Haiti, the Caribbean nation, has long been tormented by political crisis, gang warfare, and natural disasters. Hey, the Lord is plaguing that place, but at the same time, we all know Esau is the plague. You know, when the Lord plagues you with Esau, you know you messed up, because these people are wicked, man. Even Job said he wouldn't let this man lay with his dogs, because he'd probably try and pop the dog. I ain't even heard of Myanmar. Let's see what this is, because to be honest, I've never even heard of this country. Southeast Asian. There you go. Let's see the last one here. There's probably more stuff going on. Islamist militancy in Africa. So this is not even talking about the fact that, you know, Esau's in all these other places with their little humanitarian, so-called humanitarian efforts, where they're just totally abusing the people, man. And this is Matthew 24, I'm going to start at 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? When will the end of the world be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. And there's already a famine right now, but people don't even realize it. That's why you have inflation, because food is not as readily available as it used to be. And pestilences, which is this damn sea, earthquakes, and you have all these earthquakes that's been happening all over these places, in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And they hate Jake. You don't need to see any more than that to know that they hate Jake. Even in this place, there was a Storm Eunice and Storm Franklin knocked out the power in the place that I'm staying in. Everybody everywhere else had power, but this place, they run out of water. There was no water, and there was it was like a light cut. There was like an electrical light out. You know what I mean? For like, it probably lasted about 30 seconds, you know? And I've lived in Africa. That's the kind of stuff that happens in third world countries. And I remember the elder, or the big brother who runs the page Non-Stop of the Block. This guy is always talking about how America is like a third world country. You having things like blackouts. That's third world country, what's it, territory right there. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that afflicts people who live in third world country. This place is finished. Esau is a demon. Zechariah 11:5. I'm gonna start at 2. How fir tree, for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. Then that's Israel. How ye oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. There is a voice of howling of the shepherds, for their glory is spoiled. A voice of the warring of the young lions, for the pride of Jordan is spoiled. Thus saith the Lord, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. For I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. But lo, I will deliver the men and every one into his neighbour's hand, and into the hand of his king, and they shall smite the land, and out of the hand I will not deliver them. Jake think, you working with Esau, you working along Esau is going to get you rich and all of this stuff. And this man is a heathen. And one thing I realised with Jake is, as much as he likes to call out Esau for the things that Esau does, Jake does the same thing. Esau got rich by exploiting people. Jake does the same thing to his own people. I know Jakes who have businesses, and instead of paying, they'll hire Jake, and instead of paying Jake a fair wage, he does the same thing Esau does, which is underpay him so that he could come up off his own brother. And then you turn around and talk about how Esau's a demon. Most Jakes are demons just like these people. I can't wait for the Lord to just plague this place and destroy everything. I love it. I love it. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh by Hashem, Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Genesis. We will well shalom to the hopeful elect.